afternoon. Good afternoon, students. Online students, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. What we learned yesterday? What we learned yesterday? Teddy bear, ma'am. What we learned yesterday? We learned how to draw teddy bear, no? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Was it really like teddy bear, which you people did? No? You made the assignment. ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಟೆಡಿ ಬೇರ್ ತರಾನೇ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೇರ್ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಟೆಡಿ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಿಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮುಗ್ದದನ್ನ okay what and all we learned yesterday? We learned about border properties. In that border properties, a new border property is called as border radius, and you learned another one property. Huh? In border only, you learned another one property. What was that? Border collapse. Yes or no? See, it's already collapsed. You learned something called as border collapse. Yes or no? Why do you use border collapse? Why do you use border collapse? Thank you, Teju. Huh? To make to remove the extra lines whichever is getting displayed outside the table. For that reason, you people will be using a property called as border collapse. And what value will you give to that? Collapse. Yes, clear with that? After that, what we saw margin and padding properties. Okay, so if I have to move the content, will I be using margin property or padding property? Padding property. And in padding properties, how many properties do you have? Padding left, padding top, padding bottom, and padding right. If you have to move the margin, then you will be using the margin property. Yes or no? And in that also you have same thing, margin top, right, left, and bottom. Yes. And what else you learn? That's all. That's all. Today we will learn something called as pseudo classes. We will learn something called as pseudo classes. We will learn something called about pseudo classes. How do you spell pseudo? Pseudo allado, not hot. It is pseudo classes. Pseudo. Pseudo class. Okay. Clear? Clear. So, in this, before going to the pseudo classes or learning what are the different types of pseudo classes, let me consider one tag. Inside this body tag, let me consider one paragraph tag, and let me mention this as paragraph. Okay, and let me close this paragraph tag. How will you get the output? How will you get the output? The output will be paragraph. Okay. Now, if I want to change the color for this paragraph, what I will do? I will be using element selector. Yes or no? And I will pass the property called as color, and I will give some value to that. Yes or no? Ma'am, this and all I know, ma'am. I know. Then what do you mean by pseudo classes? Pseudo classes is also a type of selector. Pseudo classes is also a type of selector. Okay. So now, apart from this, ma'am, then when should we use the pseudo classes? When should we use the pseudo classes? So for an example, if you consider, what is this? What is this? Box, gift box. It is an input box. Yes or no? And you people will be having the cursor here. Okay, before going to this one, you people consider that you people have a link called as help. Is this a link or hyperlink? It is a hyperlink. Yes or no? Why is it called as a hyperlink? So when you click on this link, it will redirect you to another page. Hence, So only it is called as hyperlink. Yes or no? So now, if you people have clearly observed, if you people have ever clearly observed, when you click on this link, the color will change. When you click on this, the color will change to red. For fraction of seconds, it will change. Have you observed it? Have you observed or have you not observed? So, in this link only, so can I call this as hyperlink? Can I call this as hyperlink, guys? So, in this hyperlink only, you have 3 different states, not types. In this hyperlink only, you have 3 different states. Can you tell me what may be the states? Can you tell me what may be the state? 3 different states. Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, alla. States. So, this is one link. Unless and until you click on that link, the color will be the same. Yes or no? So, can I say the first type of state is called as unvisited state? Yes or no? Can I say the first state as unvisited state? Yes. And when I click on that link, it will redirect me to another page. Can I call that as visited state? Yes or no? Can I call that as visited state? Okay. Visited. So now, when you again go back, you have visited that link and you go back. You get the same hyperlink. Yes or no? Now, don't you think the color of that hyperlink will change? When you visit the state, the color of the link will change. Have you observed this? The color of the link will change. So, can I say that state as activated state? Can I call that state as activated state? Yes or no? So, in hyperlinks, how many states do you have? How many states do you have? What are the 3 different types of states? Unvisited state, visited state, and activated state. Yes or no? So now, okay. First one you understood. That is for links. This is alone for what? This thing, whichever I have used, this is for links. Clear? Clear? And now, let me talk about the next one, which I was talking already. You have an input tag. Yes or no? And you will have the cursor here. Yes, always. You will have the cursor here. Inside that, if you want any placeholder, what do you mean by placeholder? So, though I don't enter anything, you will have an input box. Inside that only, in very light color, you will have something called as email. Yes or no? When you click on that input box, that email will disappear. And then you can type your email. Yes or no? You have done this. So now, what my requirement is, when I click on this input box, the background color of this input box should change. The color of that input box background color should change. Can it change? Can it change? What you will do? How you will write the code for that? You will select input and you will say change background color. Yes or no? Yes or no? But here, in pseudo classes, only alone in pseudo classes, you will not directly select that element. See, before and all, whatever you people used to do, you were directly selecting that element or selecting the group of elements. Yes or no? Either one element or group of elements. Here, I will be directly selecting the element whichever I want to change. I will be directly selecting the element whichever I want to change. Okay, clear? So now, another one is also clear for you. So when you people will be using the pseudo classes, if you want to use the pseudo classes, you will be using the pseudo classes depending on their states. You will be using pseudo classes depending on the states. Clear? Clear? Now, I will give another one example. Another one example is, consider you have list of items. Let me say item 1, item 2, and let me say item 3. Okay. So you have, this is an unordered list or ordered list? This is an unordered list. This is an unordered list. Now, my requirement is, I want to change the color of the very first child. I want to change the color of very first child. So what you will do? You will take this item 1 as the first child. Yes or no? How will you change the color for the first child? You people will say, ma'am, I will use child selector. Yes or no? Child selector, greater than symbol. You will say that, ma'am, I will use that one. But when you use that one, you are changing the entire color, not only one single element color. You are changing the entire color, but I am saying I just want to change one element color. So can I call this as one element? Can I call this as one element? So now my requirement is, what was my first requirement? I want to display the links. You understood that? Yes or no? Next one, my second requirement was, in the input tag, when I click on that, the background color should change. Yes, that is my second requirement. My third requirement is, I have list items here. I have list items here, which is an unordered list. I have list items here, which is an unordered list. And in this unordered list, I want to change the color of the very first child item. I want to change the color of very first child item. So what you people will say? As you people said, ma'am, I will use child selector. Yes or no? But if you remember, in the child selector, I was entirely selecting the complete unordered list. Yes or no? And I was using something called like, yes, yes. But I am saying I just want to select this item. I want to change the color of item number 1. That is the first child. What you will do? Then, depending upon this state, you will be using something called as pseudo master. Clear? Clear till here? Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay, now let us see all these practically. Yes or no? So, before that, okay. Online students, are you people clear? Any doubt? Online students. Shall I clear this? Yes? You all are getting bored, huh? But some people are so dull today. Online students, please do reply in the chat box. Which one should I open now? Visual Studio Code? Yes. So now, is the screen visible? So now, let me create the file name. The file name, I will keep it as P. I have already created pseudo class. Okay. So I will keep it as pp.html. Okay. What is the shortcut? Shift tab. Okay. Now let me remove this meta tags. What is this meta tags? I will tell you in the further classes. Okay. So what will I take the file name as? File name as, I will keep it as what? Let me keep it as pseudo class. Okay. So now, ma'am, how do you represent the pseudo class? See, classes, how you were representing? You were representing with dot. Then how to represent pseudo classes? Then how to represent pseudo classes? You will be representing it with colon. You will be representing it with colon. Okay. So now inside this body tag, okay. Okay. Inside this body tag, let me consider one tag that is nothing but your okay. So now, what did I say with us? Yeah. So inside this body tag, first of all, what was my first requirement? To print all the links. Yes or no? So now, let me go here and let me paste this one. Okay. The link I have said A, href, and I have given this V stand for you solutions link. Okay. And I'll save this. I'll save this. And I have passed some content here. I have passed some content here. We are with this. So now what will happen? How will I get my output? You will have something called as click here, and it will act as a hyperlink. Yes. Now my requirement is I said you have something called as click here. Yes or no? Click here. Okay. So now for this one, this will be first already acting like a hyperlink. Yes or no? So now my requirement is I want to give the border to this hyperlink. I want to give the border to this hyperlink. Now we'll see how it will happen. Yes, the very first type of pseudo class link, the very first type of link, you should write this inside the style tag or not? Yes or no? So now let me write this inside the style tag. So now it is a link. Yes or no? So what is the element for link here first? Yes or no? So now the very first type I will represent it by using colon. I will represent it by using colon, and I will say the very first type of pseudo class is link. The very first type of pseudo class is called as link. Okay. Now let me add some properties in this. Before that, I will save this. Let me see how I will get it. Okay. Yeah, am I getting it? Guys, if you did you observe here? 1 second, let me show this. Can you see here the color has already got changed? Yes or no? So just see this. When I click here, for a moment it is getting turned to red. Yes or no? And then it is redirecting me to another page. Now what is my requirement for this hyperlink? I want to add border. How to add border? How to add border? So now I will go here and I will first let me give the background color. I will give the background color as aqua. Okay. And now after this, let me give some color to this. Let me give some color to this and let me choose black only. Okay. Clear till here? Now I want to give the border to this. So how to give the border? Border property. And how many pixels shall I give? Let me give it as 2 pixels. Let me take it as dotted and let me take the color as black only. Okay. Clear? I'll save this. Save this. Go back. If you people observe, am I getting it? Am I getting or am I not getting? Clear? Now I want to move this line here. Is it acting like a hyperlink? Yes. I want to remove the line which is there for this click here. How to remove? How to remove, guys? Guys, how to remove? Why are you all seeing me so seriously? Okay. I want to remove that hyperlink. Sorry, the line. So now I will be using something called as text decoration. I will be using one property called as text decoration, and for this text decoration, I'll give none. And I'll save this, go back and refresh. Am I getting there? But see, it is acting like a hyperlink. It is acting like a hyperlink. Now, my another requirement is, for the first requirement, what I did, I added the border and I gave the background color also. I changed the color also, and I gave it as a what? And I removed the text decoration also. Now, my another requirement is, when I mouse hover, what do you mean by mouse hover? Just moving your cursor to that particular element. When I mouse hover, the background color should also change, and also the border also should change. When I mouse hover, the color should change. When I mouse hover, the color should change. Now, which pseudo class you will be using? What is the first type of pseudo class you learned? Link. Yes or no? So now I want to mouse over. Yes or no? Now, what is the first element? I will represent, sorry. I will put a colon and I will use one pseudo class called as hover. Yes, clear with this? Clear with this? Now, for this one also, what I will do, I will give some border to this. Now tell me which border you want me to display. I'll display that. Tell. Huh? Pixel edma. I'll keep 4 pixels. Okay. Then dash the. Okay. Then black. Very color. Red the class. Okay. Clear with this? Only border you want, or you want any other properties? You want background color also? Let me give something called as background color, and let me use it as which color? Blue wild. Okay, done. Now let me save this. Let me go here, refresh. Now, the first state is unvisited state. You got to know that. Where I gave the background color, decoration. Yes, I gave the border also. Now, I want to know, ma'am, the link is getting visited now. How to do? Just by using a pseudo class called as mouse over. And if you see here, can you see? Can you see? Yes or no? So when I just keep here, it is in unvisited state. So when I mouse hover, can you see it is in visited state? Yes or no? And when I click here, see the color is getting changed, and that is your activated. Yes, clear with all these three? Clear with all these three? Any doubt? Any doubt? Guys, first one, see, it is in unvisited state. That too, for the link, it is in unvisited state. After that, what is happening? When I mouse hover, it is in visited state. Yes or no? Now, observe very clearly, the color is getting changed. So then it is called as activated state. What do you mean by activated state? Means that hyperlink is getting activated to redirect you to another page. Clear with link? What are the two types of pseudo classes you saw? One was link and another one was hover. Clear? Clear? How do you represent pseudo classes? Colon. Yes, colon or semicolon. Guys, some people, you don't even know what is colon and what is semicolon. This is colon. 2 dots is colon. Colon with a comma is called as semicolon. Okay. Online students, clear with this? My dear online students, clear with this? You have any doubts? Clear. Okay. So now, after this, I said I want to take one input box. Yes or no? How to take one input box? How to take one input box? Input. What input? Tag. So now what I will do? I will consider one more tag and I will say input tag. Okay, I will consider one more tag and I will say this as input tag. Let me just consider this. Let me save this. Will I get that input tag? Yes or no? I got that input tag. Let me give some break to this. Let me give some break to this BR and let me add another one BR. Let me save this. Go back and refresh. Now, if you people clearly observe here, I have got one input tag. I have got one input tag. See, when I click on this, only the border color is getting changed. I mean, it is getting activated. Now I want to change the background color. I want to change the background color. That too for which tag? That too for which element? Input element. So you have another type of pseudo class. Another type of pseudo class. So now for which element I want to change here now? Input. So I will say input. I will take another pseudo class name that is called as focus. That is called as focus. And what I'll do here, and inside this focus, I want to change the background color. I will say background color and I will keep it to aquamarine. Okay. I'll save this. Go back. Refresh. Color is getting changed. Yes or no? Is it getting changed or it is not getting changed? It is getting changed. Clear with this? So if I want to highlight some element, not element, now don't you think that I'm highlighting this input tag? Yes or no? I am highlighting this input tag. How? By using which pseudo class? By using focus. Yes? By using focus. Not focus. Don't go and tell there. Okay. Clear with this? Clear with this? Now, my another one requirement is I have 3 input tags. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 input tags. Okay. The first one is for email. The second one is for text. And the last one is for number. The first one is for email. The second one is for text. And the last one is for number. My requirement is wherever the input type is equals to email, change the border. Ma'am, that I have already done, ma'am. But okay. Now I want to, wherever the input email is there, leaving that email, I want to change the rest to 2 colors border. The rest to 2 you have, rest to 2 input tags you have. For that one, I want to change the background color. Leaving email. I am saying input type is equals to email. Yes or no? Now I am saying that leaving input type is equals to email. You have another 2 input tags, which is nothing but your text and number. I don't want to change the color of email border. I don't want to change the border for email. But instead, I want to change the border color for leaving email. I want to change the other 2 input tags color. Here. Clear with this requirement? Yes or no? We shall see how it will happen. Yes. So now what I will do, you have another type of pseudo class called as not pseudo class. You have another one type of pseudo class called as not pseudo class. Ma'am, then how to use that? First of all, I have to consider the input tags. Yes or no? So now let me take input type equals email. Yes or no? Let me give some break here. Okay. Next one, I will take input and I will give type is equals to what? Type is equals to text. Okay. Done with this also. Let me give some break to this. Next one, I want to consider another one input tag. I want to consider another one input tag and I want to give type equals number. I want to give type is equals to number. And for this one also, let me give the break. Guys, you are getting bored. I'll leave the class, sir. Vidla? Yes or no? You ask once. Okay, I'll save this. I'll go back and refresh. Okay, so now what happened? I have 1, 2, 3. Yes. Why the background color is getting changed here? Because I have already kept it on focus. Now let me remove that focus. Let me remove this focus. Okay, so now let me go here, refresh. So now clear. If you people observe here, this is for email, this is for text, this is for number. Can you see here? For numbers, you have an up arrow and down arrow. Yes or no? Now, my requirement is leaving the email text field, leaving that email, I want to change the border of these two tags. I want to change the border of these two inputs. Yes or no? Then how to change? I have something called as not pseudo class. Yes or no? So which tag I'm using? I'm using input tag and I will say not. Can you see here? You will not get it as not pseudo class. You will get not and that. Here. Now, here inside this, I will give type equals, I'll give type equals email. Okay. So now what may happen, guys? Have I passed any properties inside that? So now let me pass some properties inside that. And let me say background color and let me take it as beige. And now let me, shall I give border to this also? I have to give border, no? So let me take border 2 pixels, solid red. Clear with this? I'll save this, go back and refresh. What is happening? What is happening, guys? Leaving your email text field, I am getting the border colors for the other two tags. Yes or no? Am I getting or am I not getting? I am getting. Oh, here I selected as background origin. It is border. Yeah. Now can you see? Leaving email text field, I am getting the rest two input tags. The background color is also changing and the border color is also changing. Yes or no? Now, leaving number, I want these two colors to be changed. How to do? Leaving this one. This is your text tag, text input tag. Now, leaving the text, I want to change the color for number and email. How to do? How to do? You just have to change it to type is equals to text. Okay. And then for numbers, if I want to change, type is equals to number. Okay. Guys, if you observe something here in this number, you have many numbers. Yes or no? Example, in Facebook, if anyone has to open any social media, first of all, they should be of 18 years of age. And on Sayatankanu use ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. That is other matter. Yes. Ma'am, I want to give range of values, ma'am. I want to give range of value. Then how to give range of value? Minimum and maximum. Where you will give that minimum and maximum? Where you will give that minimum and maximum? Can you see here? You have give something said as input type is equals to number. There I will say minimum he has to be of 18. And then I will say maximum ಎಲ್ಲ ಮನುಷ್ಯರು ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಬದುಕ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ 60 years ante ಅವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. Okay, I'll say 100. Okay, I'll save this, go back and refresh. Now guys, can you observe what is happening here? What is happening here? See, if I enter 1, I have taken the range from 18. If I take 18, it is getting entered. Now, if I enter 1, it is taking a. See, no. It is starting from 18 only. See? Yes or no? It is starting from 18 and end if you go, it is still 100 only. See? Though I click on this, it is getting highlighted saying that stupid person, you have given only till 100, not more than. Yes or no? Now, my another requirement is you have this number. You have this number input tag. Yes or no? So now, if I enter any value within the range, what is the range from 18 to 100? Yes or no? If I enter any value within the range, the background color should be, the border color should be same. But if I enter any value outside the range, the border color should change to red. Here, you got my point? You got my point? Yes or no? So how to do that? How to do that, guys? How to do? Yeah, tell me how to do that. Where you should go and change? So now, first of all, I have to change here as input type is equals to number. Yes or no? I have to change input type is equals to. Okay, let me try it for email only. When I enter a valid email ID, it should be the same. The border color and the background color should be the same. But when I enter a invalid email ID, the background color and the border also should change. Clear with this? Clear with the requirement? So now how to do this? How to do? Guys, the same thing control. I have to add background color and border properties. Yes or no? Where will you add that border properties? Where will you add that border properties, guys? Where will you add the border properties? Huh? Input tag, in this input tag only you will apply. Yes or no? Need reply. Yeah, now what should I do here? Okay, at least tell me what I should do. Everyone. Okay, I'll do one thing. I will show one program, okay? So if you people observe here, I will save this, okay? First of all, let me run this and you people tell me whether it is happening like that, whichever I said now or not, okay? Let me run this. If you people observe here, I am writing something called as, see, whenever I'm writing, the background color and the border is getting changed. Yes or no? So I will say, it is red. Yes or no? Now, I will say something called as, what happened? What happened? See, this is an invalid email ID. Yes or no? I want to change it to valid. So when I give valid email ID, the border color is also getting changed and the background color is also getting changed. Now, which pseudo class I have to use now? So now you will be using a pseudo class called as, you will be using something called as, for the same input tag. Yes or no? And you will be using something called as, what? What, guys? I will be using something called as invalid. I will be using something called as invalid. And what am I saying now? When it is invalid, what I have to do? The border color should change and the background color should also change. So let me give the background color. Background color, I will give it as what? Red, green. Okay, and let me take the border and I will give 3 pixels. I will say solid, and when the board, when it is invalid, I have to change the color to red. Yes or no? Red irla. Let me save this. I'll close this program, and now let me run. So for which one am I giving it? Huh? Email. Okay. See, this is my email. Why there I'm not getting this border color? I mean, okay, let me zoom this. Now tell me, ma'am, here you have given beige and red color border, ma'am. Here also you have given beige color and red color border. Why am I not getting it here? Because there in the pseudo class, not pseudo class, you have mentioned type is equals to email. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now what I will do, when I click here, it is normal. When I click here, it is normal. So now I will give the invalid email ID. Same thing. Yes. If I give valid, see, I said when I take the pseudo class as invalid, the background color should change and the border should also change. Is it changing? Is it changing? That too for which one? When I enter invalid email ID. If you want to represent any invalid email ID, you will be using the pseudo class called as invalid. For valid. For valid. See, now if I change the same thing for valid, what is happening? Now for valid also we will give one color. Valid also we will give one color. So you will be using another pseudo class. You will be using another pseudo class called as input, and you will type something called as valid. You will type something called as valid. Now tell me what color you want. Okay, I want to change the background color. Okay, which color you want? Orange. Wow, chocolate. Okay. Next, border. Plumma. Border, which one you want? Dotted or dashed? Dashed. Dash about. Color? Pinka. Ooh. Color combination. Which color? Soon. Online students, which color? Online students, I don't know they're alive or not. Purple. Okay. Online students, are you people following or not? Okay, let me save this. What should happen now? Okay. Refresh. What is happening, guys? What is happening? Hey, what is happening? When I use something called as valid, what is happening? All the colors are getting changed. But if you observe here, I will enter a valid email ID. See, for valid, you gave this color. Yes or no? Now let me give some invalid email ID. Okay. Yes, this is for invalid. For valid? Yes. Clear? Clear with this? Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, for the numbers also, I want to give some color. Then what to do? Same, valid and invalid. But you have to change something called as input type is equals to number. Yes or no? In not pseudo class, you have given input type is equals to email. So only the email is getting changed here. Yes or no? Now for numbers, if I have to change, what will happen? If I want to change for numbers, the same properties whichever I had applied here, that is for both valid and invalid pseudo class, I want to apply it for numbers. Then what you will do? You have to change type is equals to number. Yes or no? Shall we see whether it is happening or not? So where is it? Where is it? Okay. So go here and you say type is equals to number. I'll save this. Go back, refresh. See, when I enter 1, what is happening? What is the range? What is the range? 18. So now let me give 18. Yes, I'll give 21. I'll give, is it valid? What is my range? End range, 100. So I will give 100. Yes, I will give 101. I will give 1. I will give 18. Is it getting changed? 18 is within the range. So only it is saying for whatever you have passed the properties for the property called as valid. It is the background color and the border is getting changed. Now, if I use the same thing for invalid, there is a differentiation now. Yes or no? Clear with pseudo classes? Yes. Now, online students, clear with this. Online students, clear with this. Yes. So now, not my task. Nona. Anu, what happened? Anu, you're not clear with the topic, huh? Anu, you have any doubts? What doubt, Anu? Anu, what doubt do you have? Which color you're unable to change? When it is invalid. Anu, just see here, just observe for inside the pseudo class, what is the type you have given. Then just type the same code and just let me know whether you're getting or not. So now your requirement is, guys, please listen with the requirement. Your requirement is, you have to create one form. You have to create one form. Don't use your laptop. Wait for a second. You have to create one form. Okay. For the same form, you will have a sign up page. Sign up page. You have first name, last name, email, date of birth, month, same forms, whatever you had done in HTML. Okay. Use the same thing, but use with pseudo class. Done? But use with pseudo classes. Clear? Any doubt? Done? You'll do it? Yes, please do with the task. One second. This one, no? Starting. Online students, are you all there? Online students, are you all there? Can I please see the output? Can I please see the output of yours, please? Guys, okay, done with your task? Yes. So now, the third requirement, the other requirement I gave for list of items. Sorry, for lists. Yes or no? I said that I want to change the color for the very first child element. Yes or no? So now, first of all, let me create one list. Let me create one list. And inside this list, how to create a list? How to create a list? How to create a list? UL tag. Shall I take UL tag? And inside this UL tag, let me take the UL tag. 1 second. Let me take the UL tag, and inside this UL tag, let me take the first list item. Yes or no? I will take it as list item 1, and same thing I will continue this, Control C. Okay, so I have list item 1, list item 2, and list item 3. Let me save this, go back, refresh. Am I getting list item 1, 2, 3? Now I am saying that I want to change the color. I want to change the background color for the first child element. I want to change the background color for the first child element. Yes or no? Yes or no? So now what I have to do here? What I have to do here? So now let me go inside the style tag. Inside the style tag, I have to change the complete UL or the list item. Only the list item. So now I will take something called as LI. I will take something, I will take something called as LI. And in this one, you have the first pseudo class called as first. You have something called as, can you see here something called as first child? Yes or no? So now let me add some properties to this, saying I want the border to this. I want the border of 2 pixels, and I will say dotted, and I will say black. Okay. And now after this, I will give some background color to this. Let me give some background color to red. Okay. Let me save this. Go back. Is it happening, guys? Is it happening, guys? The very first child element is getting selected. Now I want to change the last child element. I want to change the last child element. Then you will be using something called as last child. That's all. Now I want to change the second. Will you say second child? Will you say second child? Will you say second child? So then what I will use then? Then at that time you have another type of pseudo class called as, let me take the list item first, and now I will say something called as nth child. I will say something called as nth child. You have 3 child items there. I want to change the second one. Yes or no? So now here, let me give the number as 2. Okay. And let me pass some properties inside this. The same properties, let me pass. Oh, shit. 1 second. Now let me pass the same properties. Let me save this, go back and refresh. Is it getting? Am I getting it? Yes or no? Yes? Clear with this? Clear with this? So how many types of pseudo classes are there? How many types of pseudo classes are there? First one is for link, hover, focus, then not pseudo class, then valid, invalid, then first child, last child, and nth child. So how many types of pseudo classes? Good. How many types of pseudo classes you learned today? Huh? 8 or 9? 8 or 9 or 7? 9, huh? Count madri. Link, then hover, focus, then not pseudo class, invalid, valid, and a child ella ondike serirodu, so it is only 7. Yes or no? Clear with pseudo classes? Any doubts you have in pseudo classes? Online students, do you people have any doubts in the pseudo classes? Online students, please reply in the chat box. Clear with this? What do you want, ma? Program. This or this? This, sir? This, sir? Guys, clear with pseudo classes? Any doubts you have in pseudo classes? You just have some 4 topics left out. Then CSS will also be over. Okay? ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಬೇಗ ಇನ್ನ ಲೇಟಾಗಿ ಇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲಾ? ಬೇಡ ತಾನೆ? ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬೇಗ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ? Clear with pseudo classes? Any doubts you have? Any doubts you have with pseudo classes? Focus, yes, sure. ಅವರು ನಿಮಿಷ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ. So now let me remove all these. Okay. So now let me take this out. See, I have just alone one single input tag. Okay. Let me clear this. Okay. So now when I go here and refresh, then I thought, okay. When you see here, this is one input box. So when I click on that, it is, you can just type here. Yes. Now I want to add some focus into it, saying when I start entering or when I click on that, it should get focused with some color. It should get focused with some color. So this is one input tag, alone one input tag. So now what I will do, so let me go back here and I will use the tag called as input. Yes or no? I will use something called as focus. Okay. And now let me try to change the background colors for this and let me give it as yellow. Okay, clear? And let me save this. Clear now? Now let me go here, refresh. See, when I just click on there, it is getting highlighted. It is getting focused. Means that particular input tag is getting focused. Clear? Done? Yes, everyone, please scan with your attendance. Please scan with your attendance, everyone. So what we learned today? All the different types of pseudo classes. Yes? Yes, tomorrow? Tomorrow? Tomorrow is the holiday for you all. Yes? Yes or no? ಹೇಳಿದರಾ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ವಾ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ತಂದಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ wait, I will inform whether you have holiday or not. Come. Happy to see you. I swear to God, I'm very happy to see you. She's my other batch student. And my favorite student who fights with me. She's the only student who fights with me, you know. Yeah, if you're done scanning with your attendance, you can leave for the day, guys. Thank you and happy Ganesha Chaturthi. Thank you so much. Vinayaka Chaturthi, Ganesha Chaturthi, something. Hey, Barta Mot ka tago bandra. Okay, Neenu. Laddu more. Even things sweet irta ella tago. Okay, thank you all. Bye bye. Thank you. And my dear girls, happy Gauri. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, you can leave for the day. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.